Okay, then we'll start today's session. So in last lecture, we already started with uh, our new chapter, which is drug metabolism. Okay, am I audible for all of you? If audible, then just say yes. Am I audible? Just say yes if it is audible. Okay, if anything there, you can comment in the comment box. Okay, let's start for the today's session. So in previous session or the lecture, we already started with drug metabolism chapter. Okay, in that we already discussed regarding introduction, then what is metabolism actually, then uh, what is the phase 1 reaction, then what is phase 2 reaction, and we started with phase 1 reaction in last lecture. Okay, in that first reaction we already done, which is oxidative reaction. Today we will start with the reductive reaction. Okay, so name itself indicate it is related to the reduction process. Okay, then okay, we'll start with the reductive reaction. So reductive processes play an important role in metabolism of many compounds containing carbonyl, nitro, and azo groups. Then carbonyl compounds generates alcohol derivatives. Then nitro and azo reductions leads to amino derivatives. The hydroxyl and amino moieties of the metabolites are much more susceptible to conjugation than the functional groups of the parent compounds. Hence, the reductive processes facilitates the drug elimination. Okay, so reductive processes mainly facilitates the drug elimination process mostly, or it this reaction plays important role in the elimination process of the any of drug, which is reductive reaction. Okay, so next is the reduction of the aldehyde and ketone carbonyls, which are the most important groups present in our any type of food or any type of drug. Okay, then let's uh, let's see the aldehyde and ketone carbonyl reductive reactions. The uh, carbonyl moiety, particularly the ketone group, is encountered frequently in the many drugs. Aldehydes are reduced to primary alcohols. Then the ketones, however, are generally resistant to oxidation and are reduced mainly to secondary alcohols. You can see here the reaction. The aldehyde is converted into the primary alcohols or reduced into the primary alcohols. Then ketone is reduced into the secondary alcohols. Okay, then enzymes called as aldoketo reductase carry out bioreduction of aldehydes and ketones. They are found in the liver and other tissue, for example kidney. Then oxidoreductase enzymes that carry out both oxidation and reduction reactions also can reduce aldehydes and uh, ketone moieties. Okay, then for example, the important liver alcohol dehydrogenase is an NAD plus dependent oxidoreductase that oxidizes, oxidizes ethanol and other aliphatic alcohols to aldehydes and ketones. So we already know that if any alcoholic person is there, which uh, in that alcoholic person, uh, uh, the alcohol causes the liver damage. What is the purpose of the what is the uh, you can say What is the relationship with the liver of alcohol? So in alcohol, the alcohol dehydrogenase is there, and alcohol metabolism is mostly happen in the alcohol liver only. Okay, and because of that higher consumption of the alcohol and overload of the alcohol, the alcohol damages to the liver. The production of the alcohol dehydrogenase is stopped, and due to that the liver will be damage of that alcoholic person. Okay, then in the presence of the NADH or NADPH, however this same enzyme system can reduce uh, carbonyl derivative to their corresponding alcohols. Then few aldehydes undergo bioreduction because of the relative ease of oxidation of aldehydes to the carboxylic acids. Okay, uh, all of you, if you having any type of doubt, then you can comment your question into the comment box. I will give the answer of the same. Okay, the example of the aldehyde drug undergoing extensive enzymatic reduction in the sedative hypnotic chloral hydrate. Then bioreduction of this hydrate aldehyde yields trichloroethanol as a major metabolite in humans. Then, interestingly, this alcohol metabolites is pharmacologically active compound or the active moiety. Further, glucuronidation of the alcohol leads to an inactive conjugated product that is readily excreted in the urine. You can see over here the reaction chloral hydrate in presence of water, which gives the chloral and the trichloroethanol. Okay, then next is the uh, acetophenone. One more example, acetophenone, which gives the 75% of the yes uh, methylphenyl carbinol, and another one is the 25% of R methyl phenylcarbinol. So you can see here the from the acetophen only two type of moieties over there due to of the reductive reaction. Okay, then reduction of the oxysuran. Studies indicates that oxysuran has its greatest immunosuppressive effect in those species that forms alcohols as their major uh, metabolic products. For example, in human and rat. Okay, so in this species in which reduction is a major pathway, for example in a dog, oxysuran shows little immunosuppressive activity in that. Okay, these findings indicates that the oxysuran alcohols, we can say that oxysuranols are pharmacologically active and contributes uh, substantially to the overall immunosuppressive effect of the parent drugs. You can see in the reaction, oxysuran gives the oxysuranols, which is also called as dry stereomeric mixtures. Okay. Then reduction of the nitro and azo compounds. Uh, the, the reduction of the aromatic nitro and azo genobiotics leads to aromatic primary amine metabolites. Okay, then bioreduction of nitro compounds is carried out by NADPH dependent microsomal and soluble nitro reductase parents in the present in the liver. So nitro reductase enzyme is present in the liver, and it will carry out the reductive reaction into the nitro group and azo group of compounds. Then a multi-component hepatic microsomal reductase systems requiring NADPH appears to be responsible for azo reduction. In addition, bacterial reductase present in the intestine can reduce nitro and azo compounds, especially those that are absorbed poorly or excreted mainly into the bile. So these reactions are mainly carried out into the bile or the liver, which is uh, bile which is present into the liver. Okay. If you feel anything is there, you can comment into the comment box. So I thought everything is clear. Okay. So we will continue further. Um, you can see in this reaction the uh, nitro compound is there. Nitro compounds in presence of air, in presence or the in the reduction of one uh, oxygen group or the one molecule of oxygen, it is converted into the nitroso. Then further it will convert into the hydroxyalamine. Then it will give the final product as a amine. Okay. Then in case of uh, same in case of the azo groups will give the hydrazo. Okay. Reduction of one nitrogen group, and further or the final product it will give the amines. One more example is there, which is clon, uh, clonazepam or the nitrazepam. Okay. If a Cl is there, then it is a clonazepam. If uh, hydrogen is there, then it is a nitrazepam. So this compound, when after the reduction or the reductive reaction, it will convert into the 7 amino metabolites. Then one more example is there, which is dentrolin, which is gives or the after the reductive reaction it will give the amino dentrolin. Then sulfasalazine is there. uh, so in this chapter you don't have to recognize that much reactions. Just you have to summarize what type of reductive reaction is going on there. Okay. Just you have to summarize that only. Okay. Which reductive reaction is going on there, or what type of reduction is going on there. Okay. Then you can see here also the sulfasalazine, which is further reductive reaction, which is give the sulfapyridine and 5-amino salicylic acid. Then next is the miscellaneous reactions or the miscellaneous reduction reactions. In that the sulfoxide functionalities are oxidized mainly to sulfones. They sometimes undergo reduction to the sulfides too. So uh, sulfones will convert into the sulfides. How? You can see here in the reaction dimethyl sulfoxide, after the reductive reaction it will give the dimethyl sulfide. The important of this reductive reaction pathway is seen in the metabolism of the anti-inflammatory agent like sulindac. Okay. Studies in humans show that the sulindac undergo reduction to an active sulfide that is responsible for the overall anti-inflammatory effect of the parent drug. The sulindac or its sulfone metabolites exhibit little anti-inflammatory activities. So you can see into the reaction sulindax, after reductive reaction it will give the sulindac sulfide metabolites. Next is the disulfiram is there, and after reductive reaction it will convert into the NN diethyl carbamic acid. Uh, Up to here the reductive reactions was there. Okay. After that we will start with hydrolytic reactions. Okay. So its name self indicates that the loss of the hydroxyl group or the water molecule. So hydrolysis of ester and amides. First we will start with ester and amides. The metabolism of ester and amide linkages in many drugs is catalyzed by hydrolytic enzymes present in various tissues and in plasma. Okay, the metabolic products formed generally are polar and functionally more susceptible to conjugation and excretion than the parent ester or amide drugs. The hydrolysis is a major biotransformation pathway for drugs containing an ester functionality. So, a classic example of ester hydrolysis is the metabolic conversion of aspirin, you can say acetosalicylic acid or acetyl salicylic acid, to salicylic acid. It is the one of the major and popular example regarding the hydrolysis or the ester hydrolysis. You can see in the reaction aspirin or the acetyl salicylic acid, upon hydrolysis it is converted into the salicylic acid plus acetic acid. Of the two ester moieties present in the cocaine, it appears that in general, okay, so in general cocaine molecules, two ester moieties are there. The methyl group is hydrolyzed preferentially to yield benzo, uh, benzoyl licognin as the major human urinary metabolites. The hydrolysis of the cocaine to methyl ecognin, however, also occurs in plasma and to a minor extent into the blood. So you can see here the example cocaine, which is further hydrolysis, gives the benzoyl benzoyl cognin and methyl cognin. Next is the amide are hydrolyzed slowly in comparison of the esters. Consequently, hydrolysis of the amide bond of the propanamide is relatively slow compared with the hydrolysis of the ester linkage in the procan. Okay, so you can see here the two type of products are there upon slow hydrolysis and upon rapid hydrolysis. If slow hydrolysis is there, then you can found that procanamide, and if rapid hydrolysis is there, then you can found there the procan moiety is there. Then, so up to here, this is all about the phase 1 reaction. After that, we will start with the phase 2 reaction. So phase 1 reaction is already discussed. In phase 2 reaction, we have to see the conjugation related reactions. Okay, so let's start. Phase 1 or the functionalization reactions do not always produce hydrophilic or the pharmacologically inactive metabolites. Okay, various phase 2 or the conjugations reactions can convert these metabolites to more polar and water soluble products. So a phase 2 reaction generally uh, converts that phase 1 moieties into the functional moieties, or we can say the prodrug, means inactive drug to the active drug. Okay, from inactive form to active form. Many conjugative enzymes accomplish this objective by attaching small polar and ionizable endogenous molecules such as glucuronic acid, sulfate, glycine, and glutamine to the phase 1 metabolite or the parent genobiotic. The resulting conjugated products are re- relatively water soluble and readily ex- excretable or the eliminatable. Okay, which is easily removed from the body. Other phase 2 reactions such as methylation and acetylation do not generally increase the water solubility. So we will discuss this one in detail. Before that, you have any questions, then you can put up your questions here. And only in 11 peoples are there online or the live streaming seeing. Okay, so what is about more people? Okay, So we'll start with next one, glucuronic acid conjugations. Glucuronidation is the most common conjugative pathway in the drug metabolism for several reasons. Uh, A is the readily available supply of D-glucuronic acid, which is derivative from the D-glucose. Then B is the numerous functional groups that can combine enzymatically with glucuronic acid, and the glucuronyl moieties when attached to the xenobiotic substrate greatly increase the water solubility of the conjugated products. So you can see here the UDPGA, which is intermediate or the intermediate product, intermediate for carrying the reaction between chloramphenicol, which is an antibiotic, and uh, after the reaction it will use the chloramphenicol UDPGA. Then sulfate conjugation. Conjugation of the xenobiotic with sulfate occurs primarily with phenols and occasionally with alcohols, aromatic amines, and N-hydroxy compounds. In contrast to the glucuronic acid, the amount of available sulfate is rather limited N-hydroxyl compounds. The body uses a significant portion of the sulfate to conjugate numerous endogenous compounds such as steroids, heparin, then chondroitin, and the catecholamines and the thyroxines. Okay. The sulfate conjugation process involves activation of inorganic sulfate to the coenzymes 3-phosphoadenosine 5-phosphosulfate, which is abbreviated as the PAPS. The sulfate conjugation generally leads to the water soluble and inactive metabolites. Uh, you can see into the reaction, the sulfate moiety is there in presence of the ATP sulfurylase, and further it will use the adenosine 5 phosphosulfate, which is APAS, and this APS in presence of ATP phosphokinase, further it will use the 3 phosphoadenosine 5 phosphosulfate, which means that the PAPS. Okay, so uh, like that the sulfate conjugation is there. Okay, then in adults the major urinary metabolites of the analgesic acetaminophen is the O, 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 o glu, glucuron, glucuronide conjugate with the uh, uncompetent or the O sulfate conjugate being formed in a small amounts. So you can see here the acetaminophen is there in presence of the O glucuronide conjugate, and it will provides the, or it will give the end product O sulfate conjugate is there. Then the amino acids glycine and glutamine are used by mammalian systems to conjugate carboxylic acids, particularly aromatic acids and aryl alkyl acids. Okay. Then glycine and glutamine conjugates with COOH, and the product are water soluble than carboxylic groups. So you can see here the example, the phenylacetic acid is there in presence of the glycine or the, sorry, in presence of the ATP or the PPI. It will give the an acyl CoA intermediate, and uh, further in presence of the glycine or the glutamine N acetyl transferase, it will use the glutamine, uh, the glycine conjugate as the glutamine conjugate. Okay, then it is the all uh, it is all related to the formation of the glycine and the glutamine conjugates of the uh, phenyl lactic acid or the from the phenyl lactic acid. Then next is the glutathione conjugation. The glutathione conjugation is an important pathway for deoxifying chemically reactive electrophilic compounds. The glutathione protects vital cellular constituents against chemically reactive species by nucleophilic thiol groups. Okay, then glutathione have thiol group which reacts with the electrophilic substrate. Then electrophilic reaction is catalyzed by enzyme glutathione transferase. So you can see here the glutathione is there, which is in presence of the electrophilic substrate. The glutathione or the S transferase is there for this uh, for the carry forward of this reaction, and it will provide the glutathione adduct or the conjugate. Then uh, this is the same end product of this one reaction, okay, which is the 2,4 dichloronitrobenzene. And next reaction is the acetylation. Okay, then acetylation constitutes an important metabolic route for the drug containing primary amino groups. This encompasses primary this encompasses primary aromatic amines, then sulfonamides, hydrazides, then primary aliphatic amines. The amide derivative formed from the acetylation of these amino functionalities are generally inactive and non-toxic in nature. Okay, the primary function of the acetylation is to terminate pharmacological activity and detoxification. You can see here the acetylation reaction. Okay, the uh, addition of the group acetyl group, addition, addition of the acetyl group in the aniline, and same into the sulfo, uh, sulfonyl amide, addition of the acetyl group is there. Then next one is the methylation. The methylation is generally goes or the does not, sorry, methylation generally does not leads to polar or the water soluble metabolites except when it creates a quaternary ammonium derivative. Most of methylated product tends to pharmacologically inactive. The coenzymes involved in the methylation reactions is sulfur adenosyl methionine, which is abbreviated as SAM. So you can see here into the reaction, the uh, methionine is there in presence of the methionine adenosyl transferase, and it will gives the end product of yes adenosyl methionine, which is abbreviated as SAM. So it is the end product of this uh, methylation reaction. Okay, next one is nicotine is there. So these are the some examples of methylation reaction. Nicotine is there, then nicotinic acid is there. Nicotinic acid further converted into the trigonylene. Okay, then so this is all about the reaction, phase 1 reaction and phase 2 reaction. For the more detail, you can refer the uh, Brahmankar book. Okay, you will get it from the Brahmankar in detail. So further, so we will discuss the factors affecting on the metabolism process. So different factors over there affects on the metabolism process. So we will discuss it. Uh, so you can see here the age, diet, then genetic variation, state of health, nutritional status, gender, degree of protein binding, species variation, substrate competition, then enzyme induction or the inhibition, and route of drug administration. These are the different factors which are affect onto the drug metabolism of particular drug. So we will discuss one by one. You can see here the age. Age uh, is an important impaired factor because very young and old have impaired metabolism. The activities of drug metabolizing enzyme varies with age. For infants and newborns, the activities of these enzymes are less than in the adults. So, in case of the infants or the childrens, the uh, activity of these enzymes is more in the adults as compared to the child one. For example, the oxidative metabolism of the uh, tolbutamide is lower in the newborns as compared to adults. Again, in older people, both the liver mass and hepatic blood flow decreases. It also impact onto the metabolism of the particular drug. Then next parameter is the diet. The enzyme content and activity is altered by a number of dietary components. Generally, low protein diet decreases and high protein diet increases the drug metabolizing activity as enzyme synthesis is promoted by protein diet and also raises the level of the amino acid for the conjugation with drugs. Then next parameter or the factor is genetic variation. The patients vary very widely in their response to drugs. The genetic factors can account for 20 to 95% of patient variability. The genetic polymorphism for many drugs, metabolizing enzymes, and drug targets, for, exam- for example, receptors, have been identified. Then next parameter is the state of health. The drug metabolism may depends on the histological changes in the liver. You can predict that the major organ is liver only. So if anything happens with the liver, it will directly affect with the metabolism process. So, but may also depends on their origin, viral, toxic, or the immunological effect. A number of hepatic diseases have showed effect on the drug metabolism. Next parameter is the nutritional status. The enzyme content and activity is altered by a number of dietary components. Generally, low protein diet increases and low protein diet decreases and high protein diet increases the drug metabolizing ability as enzyme synthesis is promoted by protein diet and also raises the level of amino acids for conjugation with drugs. Then fat-free diet decreases the cytochrome P450 level since phospholipids, which are important component of the microsomes, become deficient. Okay. Then dietary uh, deficiency of the vitamin like vitamin A, B2, B3, C, and E, and minerals such as ferrous, uh, then calcium, magnesium, zinc retards the metabolic activity of the enzymes. This is all about the diet part. Then next parameter is the gender. Mm, uh, the gender to gender also metabolism affects. So let's see. Rate of drug metabolism also depends on the sex of the patient. In the human, women metabolize benzodiazepine slowly than men. Again, several studies show that women taking contraceptive pills metabolize a number of drugs at a slow rate. In animals, a marked difference in observed between male and the female rats. Okay, adult male rat metabolize some drugs more quickly than adult female rat. So this is all about gender. Then next parameter is the degree of protein binding. So degree of binding also one of the most important factor, which is uh, gives your metabolism process rapid or slower. Increase the drug, uh, increase the degree of protein binding, decrease the rate of metabolism. If a protein binding is more there, then your metabolism process will slow over there, or the slow down over there. Next parameter is the species variation. Species difference have been observed in both phase 1 and phase 2 reactions. In phase 1 reaction, both qualitative and quantitative variations in enzymes and their activities have been observed. Then, human liver contains less cytochrome P450 per gram of the tissue than liver of the do the liver of the other species. For example, rat liver contains approximately 30 to uh, 50 nanomole per gram of cytochrome P450, whereas human liver contains 10 to 20 nanomole per gram. Uh, so this is all about the species variation. If species variation is there, then it will directly or indirectly affect on the metabolism. Next parameter is the substrate competition. A drug may inhibit the biotransformation of another drug when administered simultaneously. For example, SKF 525A inhibits the microsomal enzymes that metabolites a large variety of the drugs. Next parameter is enzyme induction. The phenobarbital or the phenytoin, then steroid, then meprobamate may induce hepatic microsomal enzyme. This enhance the metabolism of some drugs, for example, anticoagulants or the oral hypoglycemic agent. Then this is all about the metabolism chapter. So metabolism chapter of the topic of yours ends over here. So in next lecture we will start with the new chapter of the new chapter or the topic, which is elimination of drug or the drug elimination from the pharmacokinetic chapter only, or the chapter itself. So enough for the day, and this is the most important quote for the day: excuses don't get results, so don't give excuse, and do the your own exercise for your own results. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you.